this incident of me swearing about religion and calling names and all kinds of things, I put that away now. It has made me realize quite a few things that I needed change. I'm going to change my language. That's what it has made me realize. When I heard myself speaking with a very vulgar language about religion, I sounded very disrespectful to people. I think I'm going to change my ways of speaking to people who have different beliefs and respect their beliefs. You know, we are all so different from each other with different beliefs, and because of being in different environments, we are all human beings. And if we are all striving to see something which is righteous, no matter what religion they are in, so long as they are not disrespecting each other, which I have actually been doing, I think that world could be a more peaceful place. Actually, when I was practicing to become a mullah in a mosque, and I was grown up in a very, very, very religious family. And when I was a young teen and I was questioning about certain ethics of life, the head of our religious, where we were actually living in this mosque, would say that my thinking was, because Satan was making me think this way, there was a limitations of my thinking which actually made my brain more broad and wanted to see outside of the circle. So I was able to go and do my ventures in several religions. And after I actually decided that I will not be a Muslim anymore, I went, like I told you in my last interview, I went into several religions and I actually studied very deeply and with my heart and soul. And then in the end, after I realized my heart is at peace now, I'm happy of who I am. So I think that it is important that I actually am able to relay this message that I have, and I could share it with my friends and family and people who I love. I would like to help people to understand religion, or any which way they could find peace. I'm going to change this vocabulary and my way of life, and I already feel very peaceful in my heart. I actually feel lighter. I feel as if I have let something go and I flushed it down with my anger gone with it. This interview that you have helped me to do has enormously made me realize something because of my own vocabulary. We don't really listen to ourselves ever. So, it has made me realize something which is very important, David, and I want to thank you for this. And yes, I will be your friend forever to come now. I appreciate what you have done for me, and you have helped me to achieve something which I find was missing inside of me. I think that I'm a good man, and I think a good man with a good language and with good ethics of life could go way further than an angry man with lots of spears around.
Thank you very much. I appreciate first and foremost your big heart, which I saw in the first interview anyway. I saw your heart, I see through the brusqueness. You may be polishing yourself a little bit more now and becoming more sensitive about language, but your heart is still a loving heart of a generous man. So I thank you for your friendship.
I appreciate what you're telling me. That is very positive, and not everybody can see through that. It is a kind of shield which I have always had around me. I like to look like a bad man. My language was aggressive because I have been grown up in a very aggressive environment. That's how I have actually represented myself. I don't mind the way I look, but I think I'm going to fine-tune it and polish it up, like you said.
So what do you want to say to people out there that might be struggling a little bit with some of the issues that you've gone through? Because I know that you have a lot to say.
When I had decided that I will not be a religious man, I had decided that I will need to follow something. And that something was for me to be staying in line of discipline. And discipline is something that has to be practiced, like I said before. That if you do not practice discipline, it doesn't come to your door, and you do not become just a great person by itself. So people who are religious are actually very, very disciplined. Religion has actually forced discipline onto people so that people can stay in line. Your first question, I remember, to me last time was something like, where do you get your morality? So, you are absolutely right. We have to have some sort of morality in our life So, when I was in Montreal in 1986, and I was in Rosemount, and I had a bit of a scrap in front of this glass shop I was working on. Actually, I had a fight with this tow truck driver guy and this martial arts school teacher who had a school upstairs. There was a big rumble going on the road, and so the guy who came down, the martial arts teacher, they all helped. We were buddies, and then we became really good friends. They really liked me, and he said to me, he said, "Why don't you join martial arts?" I said, "Okay, that sounds really good to me. I like to fight, right?" So I joined his school, and this is how I became master of my own mind and soul. And I actually followed it very religiously. Taekwondo has 5 tenets, and the 5 tenets are courtesy, integrity, perseverance, self-control, and indomitable spirit. Control of your mind and your body. And when I started to go, I sat down in my first testing as a white belt, and I saw all these people who were breaking bricks and flying in the air and doing all kinds of actions, who were going for their first, second, or third, or whatever degree black belt they were going for. And I was like amazed. I go, wow, these guys, I want to be like them. And then there were those belts on the wall, which was white, and then there was yellow stripe, and then there was yellow, and then there was green stripe and green, and so forth, and went up to black belt. So there was a journey, and it must have been some kind of scholars or psychologists who has actually made these martial arts, which actually is very goal setting. It is actually gives you discipline, and it shows you how to achieve your goals, going through hardship and disciplining your body and mind. So I followed that, and that really, really helped me to actually gain self-control of my own self, So I think that, through struggles of life, when hardship comes your way, accept it and overcome it and fight it through. You might lose a battle, but you got to come back and fight the war so that you can, as you win, you will feel accomplished. And each person has their own kind of little battles. And, as compassion is very important for us all. I have realized this in your last thing. That's why I said it is very important for me to realize that I could give compassion to people who are actually not liberated and are tangled in their minds. And it is not good to call them names and kicking them with the boots while they are not relaxed in their mind. Now I feel very good. I should be actually sharing this to people and helping them out, So, as you can see, you are a therapist. You have done huge therapy on me, and you have helped me change, and you might see the huge change.
You get all the credit because you're someone who applies himself to everything, and you care. You care not only about yourself, you care about everything that you touch. So I think that if there was a blind spot with language or a blind spot with maybe being too rough with some people because that's your mechanism of defense growing up, as soon as you saw that, you said, I'm going to pay attention. I'm going to see if I can make improvement. This is the character of a winner, and you're going to just continue to go from victory to victory. I saw something on Facebook. I didn't reply to it, but you reached out to your friends and family asking about life and death and the meaning and this sort of thing. Can you talk a little bit about what you're going through with those questions?
Death is still a mystery. I have it unresolved. So I would like to hear from people who have resolved what is death, what happens after death. For me, I have come to a conclusion in my life because I have spent most of my life in this research, and I have come to a conclusion in my life that I do not have an answer after that. And I'm not going to waste my life trying to find it. I have got more first-hand things that I need to focus on. But for me, I like to talk about this, David. I like to talk about death. I like to talk about life. I like to talk about existence. I like to talk about cosmic worlds. And I like to talk about everything which we are surrounded with. And death is part of it. A lot of my friends who have been actually listening or looking at my comment on my Atheist Messenger and on my Facebook, people have been very silently coming through the back doors and saying to me, Uzi, I believe in you, but I don't want my dad to know about this. Because, there was one huge issue in that was my very vulgar language. And I was only writing stuff that, a normal family don't like to read in front of each other. So, I'm going to step back and I'm going to create another kind of aura and environment around me so that people who are actually liking stuff that I'm talking about are actually going to be able to talk about it in openness, you know. I feel very good about this, David. You know, I can't thank you enough. I think that things are going to change. You know, if you are ever going to be coming around my area, I would love to receive you at my humble home, you know. And no, you have said something about that in the interview. It's made me sound as if I'm kind of a materialistic man because I'm going to strive to have a bigger boat and a bigger camper and a bigger bank account. I got to tell you something, my brother. I don't have a penny in my account. I don't have a penny. All my money I have invested in to solidify my family. And yes, I have got investments in my properties, but I spend every penny that I have to try to make this company to happen, and this company will be employee owned, like I mentioned to you before, you know. So, you know, I want to make this change. I think that I'm a very special being, and I think that I can help make change of the people that I love and the people who are around me. And I think that if good people like me who are able to help who they are surrounded by, this whole world could become a great place, you know. This new change in my life is so new. Our interview is only 3 weeks old. So, you know, it is so new that maybe thinking with this different manner and approaching different people, my heart might become softer and I might take whichever route will come my way, you know. So maybe I will become a more forgiving man also. So, you know, I have not taken this medicine which you have introduced to me for a very long time yet. So, you know, I have got very positive light on the horizon yet to be.
Well, I'm very happy for you and I'm very proud of you. You inspired me anyway, even before this transformation. So is there anything else you want to say to people in general that are listening?
I think follow your heart and your dream. And if you are not religious, you can be a good person. Look at me. I have almost become a good person now.
Keep examining yourself, but don't be too hard on yourself.
Thank you very much, my brother. You create a lot of good vibes in my heart. Thank you very much.
If you like your worldview, if you think it's swell, if you've got some questions, ask me and I'll tell. All you got to do is ask. All you got to do is ask.